Yes. What is up, everybody? Your boy E-Man from the Average Joe Sports Talk Network coming at you with another edition of the Unscripted Sportscast, baby. I know I'm a day late. Sorry, guys. I'm actually 2 day late. I know I said I was going to do these on Mondays to give you my recap and stuff like that. However, man, it was a rough week. Your boy had to go to work, had himself some late meetings at work on Monday, and I was exhausted yesterday. But you know what, man? Hey, we're back at it like a bad habit. We're not letting you down. I'm going to give you a couple of special treats today. You all know that I do my weekly fantasy football league, the Big Time Reggae recap. I'm going to do both of them today, man. I'm going to hit you with some content regarding the NFL, right? Give you the best takes of the week. Give you my early bets of the week also for the unscripted early bets of the week as well. Also recap last week's bets, see where we stand and how do we end up. You know what I'm saying? But also then, I'll give you my, I'll just lump in the other show. You know what I mean? Just one time. Because, hey, you got to do what you got to do when time is of the essence. So with that being said, man, let's get started here. And week 2, man, we had some surprising games, some snooze fest. I'm going to give you the best. I'm not going to recap all of them like I usually do, but I am going to give you the best ones that I believe were in my radar, right? And, I got to start with the Giants, dog, right? I got to start with my Giants because from going to the losers of the week, my Giants made a comeback. All right, made a comeback at least. I don't want to say that. I'm not excusing that game against the cow bitches. We almost won it. I mean, it was like the only reason we lost because Aubrey's freaking leg kicked a 64-yarder. All right, heard around the freaking world. This man has done so much. All right, when it comes to football. In the short period of time that he's playing, this guy didn't play no college football or anything like that, man. He was a soccer player. And the dude has the legs for days. 64 yards to send the game to overtime. Listen, Russ was cooking. After me bashing Russ, 450 yards, 3 touchdowns. My man was eating without stopping. He was hungry. Malik is him neighbors. Wandell Robinson, 142 receiving yards, a touchdown. Malik with 2 tutties. Number 1 wide receiver one of the week in fantasy, baby. I got that man in one of my fantasy leagues team. I destroyed my matchup. We'll touch that later. Oh, and what about one of the biggest bruisers? Little Pitbull. Cam Scatterbo. Scatterbo is in the building, baby. Get his first touchdown of the year. 11 hard-fought, 45 rushing yards through 11 carries. 4.1 average yards per carry. My dude has some nasty, angry runs. Look, offense looked good. We all know that the Dallas Cow bitches, they won again, but they are soft. Look, it's a good comeback, right? Week over week. Not going to say that, hey, the Giants are back, because they're not. You still got to win the game. Want to touch on the interception in overtime? Definitely miscommunication by Neighbors, and Neighbors admitted it today that, it was his ball. It was his fault. He should have just misread Russell, and Russell kind of, I'm saying Russell is the veteran, so you got to give the rookie the nod for the mistakes here. He should have known where Russell was going. Next time, be in the better page, because, nobody's going to stop Malik. Malik would have done the right route. My man would have just taken that shit out, man. But the Giants, look, they're still a sucky-ass team. Lots of penalties. All right, they could have done a lot better. They could have done certain things. Dak, on the other hand, had a good game. Javonte Williams has been on fire. Hate that guy, bro. But fantasy-wise, one of the surprises of the season. I don't think it's going to be like that. CeeDee Lamb still hasn't caught a touchdown yet. I picked CeeDee Lamb's touchdown over for the season, and that's 2 freaking games without scoring a touchdown yet. Come on, CeeDee. But, yeah, man, the story of the game was Russell. Russell cooked. Russell was cooking. That was a vintage Russell Westbrook, Mr. Unlimited type of game, which, I said he was limited last week, but this week he was limited no more. All right. Woo, all right, Giants, baby. Let's go, man. What's the next one we got on the plate? Hopefully, let's see what happens next week. We got the Chiefs. All right, let's see if we just go back to the Giants of the first week, but usually that's probably what happens in this case. So, and of course, man, listen, I got to go from the Giants, right, to the next topic here because he's a former Giant. Danny Dimes, reinventing the Dimes push. All right, got himself another big game. This dude has scored on every freaking possession out there. Ridiculous. Freaking ridiculous. The dude has scored in every freaking possession. that he's taking the field on every offensive possession. That is ridiculous. All right. That's all you got to say. It's freaking ridiculous, man. God, Daniel Jones is having a hell of a year so far to start the season. Look, I don't want to paint the town red with this kind of shit, but all I know is that Sam Darnold, after he left the Jets, he also started 2-0 and was, setting the world on fire with the Panthers. Okay. And then guess what happened? Shit went downhill. All right. And then they have to get Baker Mayfield. But look, Danny Dimes had himself 316 passing yards, huge efficiency, 316 passing yards, a passing touchdown, another Dimes push for a touchdown. I mean, it's like all of a sudden the quarterback sneak, and he had a comeback win. It wasn't a blowout. They were behind, and my man put the team to win. It is what it is. Give him props. Right now, he's 2-0. And what he's saying is people are saying right now, which again, a lot of people blame Daniel Jones for the disaster in the Giants. I was one of those to a certain extent. I don't think it was all his fault. Offensive line, as you can see, is weak and is probably having the same issues now. So, look, through 2 games, Daniel Jones wasn't the issue. But insane game. He is the first team, the Colts are the first team in the Super Bowl era to not punt in either of the first 2 season games. And your quarterback is Daniel effing Jones. Can you believe that shit? Crazy. Now, Jonathan Taylor is on fire. This man owns the Broncos. 27 touches, 215 total yards, and a touchdown. Because that wasn't all Daniel Jones. Listen, this team, we all know what kind of player, what's his name is. Let me get back here. You know what kind of player our boy is. He's ridiculous. He's a hell of a player in Jonathan Taylor. He's a big reason why this squad does well. When Jonathan Taylor is running the football effectively, because he's a guy that just destroyed. God, I'm having a hard time with the scoreboard here. He's having a hard time. Excuse me, guys. I'm having a hard time with the scoreboard here. Trying to get the trying to get to the game recaps here, but it's not cooperating with me. Here you go. Let's go back here to the stats. I want to get these stats up here. When they're running the football well, it opens up the passing game. 165 rushing yards for Jonathan Taylor. All right. And then he caught another 50 on the ground with a touchdown. Tyler Warren, this rookie is legit. Everybody knew. Again, if you saw my shorts throughout the season, the off season, how much fantasy content I put more fantasy content this year than I ever did. And I gave you my top players per position. Y'all knew that I said, forget about going heavy on these tight ends. Wait for Tyler Warren. And that dude hasn't even caught a touchdown yet, but is insane, averaging double digits in fantasy. So, but the dude is legit. Let's talk about real football and not fantasy. This dude, 4 receptions, 7 targets, 79 yards. Solid. Another 4 reception game, 61 yards, I think, or 70-something yards the first game as well. This guy's legit. And with Jonathan Taylor anchoring the run, this is going to get crazy. So, again, as part of the Broncos, look, the Broncos had the game. Decent game by Bo Nix, 22 for 30, 3 touchdowns through that costly pick. J.K. Dobbins had a great game rushing the football for 76 yards. R.J. Harvey, who had a touchdown last week, struggled this week tremendously. This is going to be like a week-to-week with the rookie. Troy Franklin had a huge game, which negated Cortland Sutton, who's in my fantasy league team, by the way. But Cortland Sutton, who had a good game week 1, was disappeared. So, listen, man, Danny Dimes is doing, you got to give Danny credit. You got to give Daniel Jones some credits. I know that I'm going to put this graphic up here. And look, it wasn't all Daniel Jones' fault in New York. Giants fan, it's time to admit it. I was one of those naysayers, even though I wouldn't blame him fully. But come on, man. Russ is 0-2 with a much better team than Daniel Jones. And that's with having a game of his life, 450-something yards. That Daniel Jones could never. But here we are. Here we stand. We stand 0-2, my friends. Talking about 0-2. let's go to another 0-2 team. And listen, man, sometimes it's that fish in the water. And that's right now what the Finns are. Okay? The damn, oh, come on. What's going on here, bro? Hold on a second. The Dolphins. We got some dead fish in the water, brother. Fishes are getting poisoned and swimming belly up. That's a problem. That's a problem. So, hold on a second. I thought my feed was kind of freezing up a little bit on X. But Daniel, the Finns right now, comeback win by the Patriots. The team losing disarray. Tua had 315 yards over the air. It was a good game back and forth. Threw that costly pick. He just cannot hit Tyreek Hill on a deep route. And when it does, Tyreek Hill has to come back for the ball like he's a center fielder. Tyreek had a good game, 109 receiving yards, could not find the end zone. Devon Achane, that's back-to-back games with touchdowns. Waddle got in the end zone, but he's all banged up this week. Offensive line looks horrible. Achane couldn't rush the football well, but again, Achane can catch the damn ball. So that's why Achane is such a great value back and is such a great back for fantasy. But issues with defense. Look, Mike McDaniels has lost his whole freaking team. So it's no secret here. As for the Patriots, man, Drake May is that dude. Drake May is that dude. All right. He is he's definitely that kind of guy. He's going to be that franchise quarterback. He has the tools. We know how much he needs to develop still, right? But you could see it. The first two games last week, I know they lost. He didn't look impressive, but it didn't look bad either. And look, with that being said, he is a guy that, again, last week against a really bad defense, took advantage and showed Forte his skills. 230 yards, 19 for 23, passed for 2 touchdowns, ran for 31 yards, ran for another touchdown. And this was great about Drake May. The 2-dimension ability of running the football, right? Kind of big size guys like Josh Allen. Not a bruiser like Josh, but the man got all the skills in the quarterback position, man. Mobile, not extremely fast, but can move in the pocket, make throws in the run. And last week, it was a full display and led his team to a comeback. I wish he had more wide receiver help. Look, I know that they have Stephon Diggs, but Diggs, not great. 32 yards, 4 receptions. Ramondre Stevenson had some huge-ass gain. He had 5 receptions, 88 yards. Was their leading receiver. Again, Trayvon Henderson, we thought it was going to be more of the featured back. Disappeared last week, fizzled out. But Stevenson took out of the load. He had a total of 134 total yards with 16 pretty much touches overall via reception and also running the football. But this is where I mean when I say that the Dolphins are dead fish in the water, right? And it goes right now to all based on oh, come on, man. Mike McDaniel. All right, Mike McNugget here. He is a guy that has lost the locker room. Everybody was happy and high on him, when he was when he first got hired. Chris Greer needs to go as well. Give me 1 second. Let me make sure that you guys got this over here. Chris Greer needs to go as well. And when you have a guy going to the press conference that sounds like this kind of tells you everything you need to know about the team right now and what a lack of control he has on. Check it out.
To win games, you have to win the game, not lose the game. Honestly, and that is how you lose the game. You're moving the ball down the field. You're 1st and 10, and then you find yourself at 2nd and 20. That was critical.
Okay. You see what I mean? It is critical. You got to move the ball. When you lose the game, you lose the game. He's not making any fucking sense. I don't know if this dude was high or not. I don't know this dude was stoned at the press conference. It is what it is, man. Oh, Mikey McNugget. He will be gone in 2 weeks if this team is 0-4. It's no surprise. And again, man, he tried. He tried with Tua Tagovailoa. He tried with Tua. That's a quarterback that Greer wants. That's why Flores got fired, among other reasons. And it wasn't racism, so don't get crazy. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, moving on, man. Look, another nice storyline. It was the damn hell, man. I need to get a new mouse, dude. I'm having a hard time maneuvering here today, guys. What the hell's going on? Hold on a second. Let me get back to my another nice storyline was the Lions, right? Ben Johnson against his old team. Man was coming in gung-ho after putting a decent showing week 1 against the Vikings. Well, week 2 was a complete disaster. 52-21. Definitely the Lions took the beating. Took the beating that they had the week before. All right. By the Packers that said, F you guys. We're not going to let our previous offensive coordinator who has beef with us remotely get close to a victory. And that's exactly what happened. 52-21. Jared Goff back by a monster game, 334 yards, 5 touchdowns. Ridiculous, right? Jameers and Montgomery, Knuckles and Sonic are back. Both found the end zone with a touchdown. Jameer was back to, having great average yards per carry. Again, that boy Tesla, though, bro. Isaac Tesla, dude. He makes like 1 catch a game, but every catch is like ridiculously nasty. So shout out to him. J-Mo, 2 receptions, 108 yards receiving, 1 touchdown. Amon St. Brown was right there with Malik Neighbors as the top 2 wide receivers, 3 touchdowns, 115, 9 receptions, just ridiculously numbers. As for the Bears, man, look, we saw some flashes by Caleb week 1, but then we saw kind of the same Caleb, inaccuracies, just not being sure of what to do with the decisions. I don't know, man. I don't know. Caleb, and it's not Caleb's. I don't think it's Caleb's 100% fault, but, it's not a great O-line. DeAndre Swift had a touchdown. I think, they ran the football well, with DeAndre and Kyle Monangue. They could do some damage. I like that kid. He's a young rookie running back. But Ben Johnson came into the Lions, and the statement was like, hey, yo, B, get out of my house, dog. It's like when you have an ex-boyfriend, right, that tries to come back for forgiveness, and they get beat down, belt to ass. That's what happened here to Ben Johnson. So far, Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn, rough start to the coaching's career. They're 0-2. You know what I mean? They're 0-2. What else we got here, guys? What else we got here? Moving on, talking about ugliness, right? Making sure that I didn't miss anything here. Let's get here to the Sunday night game. Well, the game of the week, right? Which is more like the shame of the week, with the rematch, the Super Bowl rematch of last year, and the Eagles versus the Chiefs. And Chiefs coming in 0-1, and the Eagles, after a decisive win, week 1, it was a snooze fest. Eagles won at 20-17. Bro, look, Eagles are lucky they're 2-0 because Jalen can't get anything in the air. That tells you why. Also, he is scoring in the ground. He has, 3 touchdowns this season already rushing. Like AJ Brown, again, 5 receptions for 27 yards. That's ridiculous. You gotta get freaking AJ going, man. This is going against some mediocre teams right here. Because look, the Chiefs, with all the injuries, they're not great. Patrick had 187 passing yards. This is like a snooze fest. Yes, the Philadelphia Eagles came and won, but Patrick has been running the football. He's gonna get hurt. All right, he's gonna get injured. Another 7 carries, 66 yards, had a touchdown. That's back-to-back weeks where he's rushing the football like crazy, over 5 carries. But look, neither Mahomes or freaking Jalen had anything going over the air, that on Sunday. Now the Kansas City Chiefs have lost 3 straight games in a row to the Eagles right now. And Patrick Mahomes has lost 3 straight games going back to the Super Bowl for the first time in his entire NFL career. Sometimes shit happens, bro. And you got to come down to earth. And that's what's happening to the Chiefs right now. It's going to be one of those things where the Chiefs are going to have to figure something out. I know Rashid is out. Xavier got hurt. But it's just not a great team. They can run the football. I mean, you got Patrick Mahomes being your leading rusher. Isaiah Pacheco, who's supposed to be your top rusher, it's averaging like 2 yards per carry. Kareem Hunt is not doing any better. Shit, Kareem Hunt is actually outpacing Isaiah Pacheco because they have Pacheco. They have Kareem Hunt on the field more than Pacheco because he's also being involved more in the passing game. You know what I'm saying? Kareem Hunt, it's crazy. It's crazy. It sucks. But ugly ass game. But again, the Eagles right now have the number of the Chiefs, which when was the last time you were able to say that about the Chiefs, right? Who somebody has their number. It's weird. It's crazy. Talking about having a number, man, and he has the number of the cross on his chest, baby, Mr. Baker Mayfield. Y'all know that I've apologized 1,000 times, right? But wait a minute, not this bullshit, not this game. This game sucks. I'm not gonna touch that shit. Not going into the Falcons and the Vikings, dude. That game was horrible. You know what I mean? It was a field goal fest. Baker has found the Lord, man, but also has elevated his game. His faith is insanely high now. He prophesied it really well in an interview saying that, life wasn't the same until he gave his life to God and Christ, and all of a sudden everything has changed. It's when success started happening on the field because he straightened his life out, off the field. But another comeback win by Baker Mayfield. I mean, guts, 2 touchdowns, had that massive run. I mean, Baker is running when he needs to, and he ran for some big third downs here, man. He gets the job done in H-Town. He is just, right now he's very inspired. Now, the Houston Texans, man, I don't know what's going on with CJ Stroud, man. I love that dude, man, but man, his sophomore curse, he hasn't looked the same since his rookie season. Nico has been having an off year, and of course, that's because it all starts with CJ. And Nico at least caught a touchdown for 52 receiving yards. After that, Nico was shut down after that first touchdown in the first quarter. They just cannot get anything going consistently. And CJ has not looked great. He's too talented, and the team has way too many weapons to be that bad. They're 0-2 right now. Nick Chubb, doing a good job for Mixon, have 43 rushing yards and a touchdown. So, but going back to Baker, he is just winning. Baker is a born winner right now. Baker doesn't give a damn. He is playing like a man possessed. Bucky Irvin is picking up where he left off, rushing the football, 71 rushing yards. Again, catching the football, 50 receiving yards. Bucky is killing it right now. Rashad White got involved. They're getting these two running back. The run game is being presented. 169 rushing yards altogether. All right, with 30 carries. So they're blending the run with the pass really, really nice, right? Mike Evans, 5 receptions. Bucky, I guess 6 receptions. That kid Mbuka is nasty, 4 receptions. Didn't have a great day over the air with 29. But this kid has 3 touchdowns in 2 games. I think he's the first rookie to do this. I forget who. He is starting out his career with a bang. And you could tell Baker loves him. You could tell Baker loves this dude. He loves him. Oh, I got some comments over here. Oh, we got a Bruise Balls and Sports repost to the stream. Appreciate you, dog. Appreciate you, man. Yeah, Baker is a dog, man. Love Baker. Baker is nasty. I think he is a brand new person, and is showing. The first 2 games of the season has been no quit on Baker, and since Baker has become a buck, Baker has no quit, man. Has no quit. That's the kind of guy I guess the Browns drafted, and it was a good thing it happened when it happened, and he's now in a better scenario. Because trust me, I think I'd rather live in Tampa Bay than live in freaking Cleveland, all right, Ohio, where it's cold as balls and ain't nothing to see. And Tampa Bay got some beautiful views. But Baker's a happily married man. So, yeah, man, Baker is him. Love Baker Mayfield. And pretty much, I think that's it. What I have. The Chargers. I just want to touch base real quick on the Chargers. Still, it was 2 Monday Night Football games. So let's finish that up with the Chargers. The storyline here of the Chargers is that, listen, the Justin Herbert is him. We all know that Justin Herbert is no joke. We all know that about Justin Herbert. And listen, another solid game, 19 for 27, 2 touchdowns, rush for 31 yards. It was a no contest because, the Raiders suck. Whoever thought the Raiders thought they were going to be a good team with Geno Smith at quarterback forgot how inconsistent Geno Smith is. Passed almost for 300, I think over 300 yards week 1. Guess what, man? Week 2, 3 interceptions. Albert Genti has not been the running back everybody thought on in the real football world and in the fantasy world. And I'm telling you, man, it's just been a little sad and disappointing that Genti hasn't gotten those. He's got some good highlights, some good bust down runs. The dude can run over people. Brock Bowers was pretty much hurt the entire. He was questionable until the tip off, and he did play. 5 receptions, just 38 receiving yards. It was rough. It was a rough day for the Las Vegas Raiders. But Justin Herbert is him. And Quentin Johnson, dude, what a touchdown, man. 71 yards receiving. Huge as Keenan Allen with another touchdown. Yeah, I mean, they're taking some snaps away from my boy Lat McConkey. I know people in fantasy are like, come on, man, let McConkey, let Lat eat. Let the laddie. Let McConkey eat. Let the laddie. Let the little lad eat. You know what I'm saying?
What the fuck? Hey, yo, what the fuck? Hey, yo.
I made my noises on fire. So, yeah, all good. All good, my man. McConkey will eat, bro. Trust me. I think Justin Herbert has enough arm for all those wide receivers. It's a good problem to have. Having Keenan Allen playing at this level this early, Quentin Johnson, and McConkey being third fiddle. Because guess what? McConkey is going to start eating soon when the matchups change a little bit. So even look at Trey Harris, bro. Got himself 2 receptions, a rookie. And Najee Harris, bro. Najee, 8 carries, 28. Surprisingly, though, Omario Hampton not looking sharp. This is supposed to be their guy. They drafted this dude to be the lead back eventually at one point. But I think the kid, still needs a little development. Yep, that's what we got, man. Just want to touch that game real quick. Now, let's go to the let's do our segment this week. Hold on a second. Let me get Today it's been one of those days, man. I can't get my shot. Let me just use my touch screen here. But let's talk some betting. Early bets of the week.
Say it with me one time, Jerry. Show me the money. Jerry, you better yell. Show me the money.
All right. We have the early bets of the week. All right, I got some early bets. Let me go ahead and share my screen here. Last week, your boy gave you 2 picks. Arizona -1, got that one right. Clemson -3.5. I should have known better. All right, than to pick Clemson because they suck. But today, let me just get the switch screens over here. Today, this week, I think I'm gonna probably go 3 for 3. I got 3 picks for y'all. I got 3 picks for you all right now for this week's my early best bets of the week. I got Devon Achane in tomorrow's game, anytime touchdown, because he's the only one that's getting in the end zone pretty much for the Dolphins. All right. Chargers -2.5. Take that at 110 early. Shakir over 4.5 reception of plus money. Tell you something, bro. I know last week against the Jets, they didn't need him. That's why he didn't get. But this dude has been averaging over 5 receptions, like 4 of the last 5 games going to last year, right? He had 6 in his first game of the year and then only had 1 against the Jets. But this is going to be different. Miami is soft. Miami can't freaking cover anybody. Go ham. So here's my 3 early best bets of the week for tomorrow's game. Go Achane anytime touchdown. Shakir over 4.5 plus money. They're giving you that cash. And for the weekend, man, go with the Chargers. Now, like I said, I throw more picks up. Follow me on Twitter. Follow me on X. I'm sorry, and I share a lot of different picks. So, all right. With that being said, we need to switch gears here. And like I said, I was going to give you 2 shows in one today. You know what I mean? Regarding the, let me go ahead and let me exit some some screens here. But I want to go ahead. And like I said, I was going to give you 2 shows today. And this is the time that I'm going to jump on to the recap of my fantasy league. All right. The greatest fantasy league out on the planet, bro, the Midtown Brigade. Here's the Midtown Brigade, baby, the greatest fantasy football league out there. And this is your weekly recap. Now, if I could just find, hold on a second, I got to open another tab. Week T was upon us, man. Your boy is glad to say that he is 2-0. That's what I do. Starting out like a bang, baby. I rarely start 2-0. But this year I am starting 2-0, and it's been 2 consistent, absolute game freaking destroy wins. It's been no contest the first 2, almost 30 points the first week, right? Week 2, it was like a 20-point something blowout. You know, it's what I do, man. It's what I do, man. I felt it in my bones. It's going to be my year. And of course, we're going to start with my matchup, right? It was Garbage Men, which is my team, all right, against Galamad on Wednesday. No Galamad on Wednesday. I'm sorry, all right? So last week, I played New Era, which is the younger brother of Galamad on Wednesday. And, you know, I'm sorry that I had to take the family out. They're my cousin's dog. You know, we family. But when it comes to family football, when it comes to fantasy football, there's no friends, family, or blood in between. That's how we get down, right? That's how we roll. And don't get me wrong. It was a close game. It was a close game, bro. It was a very close game. Oh, we got the league probably. League mates are probably here in the chat. See who we got here. Oh, we got DJ Ress here. What up, Danny? Team Broadway's in the house. I think Broadway's also 2-0, bro. But yeah, man. Look, it was one of those games that he had a lead. He was actually kicking. He was up, and he was projected to win at 1 point. And 142-95 right here. But that's when the fourth quarter hit, and Malik Neighbors went ham. The story of the game was Malik with 39 points. So Malik and Lamar Jackson got hot at the same time. Lamar through the first half looked weak. And I'm getting, oh shit, I'm going to lose. But then Lamar got so hot at 36 points. Malik with 39. I didn't need any running back help, man, because Tyreek Hill giving me 17 points was what I needed. The Houston defense came clutch with 15. Look, I started Jordan Mason, gave me 5, which not much from the bench. But Jordan is starting this week, and he's going to be the lead back. I'm looking forward to that. What fucked Agalamad is that, look, he started hot with Josh Jacob. His running backs performed well. Josh and Jalen, of course, the Justin Jefferson debacle, which, you know what was crazy, right? I have Justin Jefferson in another league. So I didn't want him to do well because I already had, by the time the Justin Jefferson game came into play, I already had beaten my other team. The team that I was facing in my other league by like 20 points. So I didn't have anybody else playing. So I really didn't need Justin Jefferson to play good. I'm glad he only scored 11 points. All right. Next week, I want him to go off. T. Higgins had himself a nice game. His problem is that, you know, Jalen is hurting him. Jalen is hurting him, not reaching projection. That was horrible. And that's what really messed him up, man. He got a nice little, he picked up Juwan Johnson this week, and he had an extra surprising points in the Bills defense. And there was nothing he could have done on the bench either, man. I mean, it just, you know, one of those days, bro, that he sucked a lot more than I did. So back-to-back weeks, you know, your boy's 2-0. Let's move on to Rico and Team Broadway. My boy Danny is in the building. He's here in the chat. You know what I'm saying? I did not get lucky, dude. I beat him by 22 points. It was, you know, beat him by, 22 points. I don't think that was luck. Anyway, going back to Team Broadway here. Team Broadway, he's 1-1. He won the first game of the season, but New York City Rico just came in strong. Rico has a really strong team. Baker Mayfield, again, 26 points, huge game. And even though Kyle Williams was disappointing, Jamar Chase just had one of those days. It didn't matter. He didn't need any points from the defense. As a matter of fact, his defense was negative points. And Rico was slapping them hoes out there, bro. Between Jamar Chase and Baker, that's all he needed. Because, Joe Burrow got hurt for Team Broadway, and that sucked for him. No points from Burrow. That took him out. Christian McCaffrey had a huge game. 32 by Odunze. Now, different story And Rico did get lucky because Burrow was not there. So there would have been a lot of cancellation. So it was a tough game for Danny. You know what I'm saying? Tough game for Danny. I mean, he may got lucky. I think he was talking about Rico. My bad, Danny. My bad. But yeah, that's exactly what it was, man. Now Danny picked up a new quarterback this week, and let's see what happens because Burrow might be gone for the year. That's probably what's going to happen. Burrow might be gone for the year. Team Maximus against Vicious. This is like watching paint dry. 117-106. It was like the game. Who the hell is going to score less? Or, can we just not score at all? Not make it exciting. But McCarthy, JJ, I thought Maximus thought he was going to catch lightning in a bottle for 2 weeks in a row. That's not the way it works, bro. 1 week you go to the club and you hook up with a nice chick. Second week you go to the club and you hook up with a tranny. That's kind of what happened this week for Mike when it comes to like relying on McCarthy, thinking he was going to have the same performance 2 weeks in a row. The guy sucked. Jahmyr Gibbs, solid game. ATN, again, solid game. Mikey, the running back haven, because he has nothing but running back on his teams. His receivers right now are performing well, decent, not great, but he's running the same formula that got him the championship last year. As for Vicious, Kyler Murray sucking a big one. Alvin Kamara, decent game. JSN hasn't found the end zone yet, but he's averaging almost 20 points a game. Bijan has been ridiculously great. 20 points again, had a huge day. Nothing here to be surprised in the bench. Justin Herbert. I mean, at one point, when is he going to figure out and start starting Justin Herbert over Kyler Murray? I think Justin Herbert right now has a green light to throw the football, so he should be starting this dude. Again, for Maximus on the bench, I know he was a little disappointed with Tutoria McMillan last week, sucking an egg, but hey, give the kid a chance, bro. You need him in your starting lineup, all right? Omario Hampton, disappointing. I think he needs to make some changes here. George Pickens, I mean, I know you got a lot of running backs, bro, but, Pickens and Tutoria, you got some guys that have potential, but very, very subpar game here by these two guys. It was kind of like watching paint dry a little bit. All right, let me see what we got here. Team Cruz against Frankiestown. Wow. I feel bad for Frankiestown, dude. He's banged up. He's hurt. Put up a really, really nice outing here. You know what I mean? 132 points. Sucks to lose by 40-something. All right. When you put 132 to lose by 40, almost 40 points, it sucks. But on the other hand, that's the kind of game that Team Cruz had. I mean, look, Patrick Mahomes is not doing it great in the regular season in real football, but in fantasy football, hey, he's averaging 26 a game. Devon Achane, 26 points. James Cook, eating 28 points. Story of the game was last-minute switcheroo of Tucker Kraft. All right, he had he had Dallas Goedert in the lineup, and then he goes, you know what? Let me switch that shit for Thursday night. And Tucker Kraft, my man, it wasn't blue plate mayo, baby. It was Kraft mayo. You know what I'm saying? He had that Kraft mayo and that butter, all up in that bread because he was eating bread, baby. Like he was in a fucking Chinese buffet, bro, for the first time. He was like a Cuban that got off the boat, and the first meal he had was at a Chinese buffet, so he went ham. All right, that was Tucker Kraft. Jalen Waddle, 17 points, found the end zone. Great work. Again, I feel bad for Frankiestown, bro. Look, 27 points by Jordan Love. Kenneth Walker, big game. CD hasn't found the end zone, but still getting you massive numbers. I know he has some injury. I know Rashid Rice, suspended right now. He has some shit there, man. He has. I mean, yeah, he could turn it around, but shoot, man. Team Cruz was the leading scorer of the week. And he just was unconscious, like a man possessed. Yo, here we go. Talking about Team Cruz, man. Cruz, as you're here, I got to say that, you were this week's top player, bro. You scored the most points and you had the biggest win. So therefore, my guy, you are the go to the
greatest of all time. Greatest of all time. Don't cross that line. Go.
So, you know what I'm saying? Gotta get props, bro. Your team was just on fire. All right, let me get back here to the let's get back to the nitty-gritty. Hey, it sucks losing by almost 40 points, and you still dropped 132. New Era and Grey Goose. Hey, New Era got his ass kicked last week, but this week he rebounded by beating Grey Goose 0-2. Grey Goose was the team to beat before the season started. In my book, now he's pretty much a team that you can beat. New era. Hey, listen, 115 points. Look, this is like I mentioned earlier. I feel bad for Frankie Town because he dropped 132 points. He could have beat Vicious, Team Broadway, Colorado on Wednesday. All right, 1, 2, 3, and he could have beat both of these two players. He could have beat half of the league, more than half of the league, but he had to go against a buzzsaw. So that's why I feel kind of bad for Frank. You know what I'm saying? But new era, look, Justin Fields. Look, even with Justin Fields having a bad game and Derrick Henry putting 2 points, it's all right. Javonte Williams carried the load, and so did Jonathan Taylor. My man is eating right now with running backs, bro. Eating with running backs. He has some really solid running backs. He just needs to get it together from a quarterback standpoint. And last week, he I don't even know who he started against me last week when he came to Dak Prescott. Look, he said Dak this time around because he wasn't happy with his performance. He dropped 30 points. But you know what, dude? Mistakes like that are affordable when your player, when you had a shitty week, 115 is not great. But the guy you face sucked even more. All right. I mean, Goose right now doesn't stand for Grey Goose. It stands for 0. And that's 0 freaking wins, right? A goose egg means 0 wins. All right. Trevor Lawrence, good game. Saquon, Saquon hasn't blown out the water this year yet. I mean, they're taking it easy with Saquon, but I'm assuming he's going to hit. James Conner, double digits for 2 weeks in a row. Brian Thomas, I think he did score a touchdown, but didn't do great. I like Brandon Stinch. I mean, we'll see what happens. Jerry Jeudy, everything else just did not click for Goose this week. J.K. Dobbins in the bench, Caleb with 23. But, I mean, it's a long season, guys. 0-2 doesn't mean shit yet. You know what I mean? 0-4 might be a problem. But, again, new era. Hey, ugly wins are wins. Any wins are wins, and you take them any time, bro. All right? South Florida and Team Bring It. This was a very close game. Came down to the last minute. Team Ninjas just pulled this one out of his ass last minute, dude. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Team Cruz up there with the fire emojis. Let me make it. There you go. Nah, man. Okay, that's kind of long. There you go. Let's shut it off. All right, going back to the last minute here, man. It was a last minute win here. Quentin Johnson gave Spanish Ninjas the victory. Quentin Johnson, bro, it was all him. Monday night, man, came down to Monday night. Quentin got busy. Team Bring It had the defense. He was up. I mean, you cannot get any closer than this. Team Bring It, who's the all-time most winningest championship team in the league, has 5 chips. You know what I'm saying? He's like Tom Brady of the league. Now, as a rough start, 0-2. He's been there before and actually has won a championship. I was starting 0-2. So, but Spanish Ninja rebounded this week, 137, 134. It's kind of bad when you got two guys going at each other, but it was a good game. It was a good game. Jaden Daniel might be hurt, so I think Ninja needs to figure out what he's going to do from a replacement standpoint. I know he picked up somebody today. I don't know. Well, he has Drake May. So, you know what? Drake, he's in good hands, bro. You got Drizzy Drake. Drizzy Drake, he's in good hands. But Bucky Urban's had a huge game. So did Puka. And didn't need much after that. For Bring It, Josh Allen it was such a blowout that, a typical Josh Allen game would have been a wrap, right? And this is a guy that had Josh Allen in week 1 and still lost week 1. That's crazy. And Amon St. Brown having 40 points. What a waste of a 40 points for Team Bring It, man. It was like Amon St. Brown brought it, but Quentin Johnson brought it later and made him win the game and brought the victory for Team Ninjas. So nothing exciting here at the bench. Again, no, Ninjas is in good hands with Jaden Daniels being out. He's in good hands. Shout out to Ninjas, bro. 1-1. All right. With that being said, guys, let's go ahead and let's go to the standings here. Let's take a look at the standings. They don't mean shit right now because it's still really early. Team Cruz is in first place in the Uptown Division, tied with New York City Rico. Of course, Cruz is the man. He does have the majority of the points. I am on top of mine with Vicious at 2-0. Max, everybody else is 1-1. 0-2 teams are Brinket and Frankie Town. Got them out on Wednesday, and Goose doesn't mean anything just yet. It's still early, man. With that being said, the season stats ranking, I am ranked number 2, right behind Team Cruz, who's been lighting the world up like there's no tomorrow. You know what I mean? He was putting up points left and right. So I'm just having a very balanced attack. You know what I mean? Now, let's go to this week's matchup. Let's do some predictions here and there, my friends. All right. Maximus against Garbage Men. It's my cousin Mike. You know what I'm saying? I already started talking trash. One thing I don't like, and I hope I'm not jinxing myself, but I'm not a fan of my projected totals being higher than my opponents because it's usually a jinx. That's just my personal belief. I don't like that. And this week I'm projected to win by 8 points. Not a fan of that. And I'm a little superstitious when it comes to that kind of shit, right? But again, look, he just picked up Jared Goff. I tried to block his ass, but I went for Daniel Jones. Should have, try to pick two quarterbacks. But Lamar Jackson against Gosh got the edge there. If God, he's going against Baltimore, so we're going to face each other. Hopefully, Baltimore can, shut down the Goff man. Jahmyr Gibbs against Chase Brown. I need Chase Brown to get busy here, man. You know what I'm saying? He has Travis Etienne. He has a bunch of here. He's old. He's do or die by all these running backs, and he's probably going to be making some late changes here because Emeka and Buka hope doesn't play. I hope he doesn't play. All right, what's next here? We got Galamad on Wednesday against Grey Goose. 2 0-2 teams, and one for sure we're going to know that one of them is going to get their dub. It's either going to be Goose or Galamad. I mean, somebody better fucking eat healthy this weekend. You know what I mean? But I think for Galamad, it all rests on, and they had a huge trade this week, by the way. I think he ended up trading for Trayvon Henderson and Garrett Wilson. And he gave Frankie Town, Jacobs, and somebody else. So the story of the trade was Garrett and whatever, and Jacobs. I think Galamad is going to rest or die, live or die on Jalen Hurts. Okay, that's just the bottom line. With Goose, man, Caleb, he's going to start Caleb so far. Let's see what happens. Saquon, and for Goose, is Saquon and BTR. All right, if Saquon and Brian Thomas Jr. get off, this is going to be a victory for the Goose Man. New York City Rico against Team Brinket. Rico is 2-0. Brinket is, had a really, really tough loss last week. But, man, it's a very evenly matchup here. Josh Allen is going to play Miami, and he owns Miami. So expect a big game from Josh Allen. Very, very close to week 1. Genty is the wild card right now. He is not playing to projection. He's averaging 9 a game, and that's not good for him. David Montgomery, again, I had David Montgomery last year. It's a hit or miss, but Amon St. Brown is him, and Amon St. Brown's going to eat. Devontae Adams need to have a big game against Philly. A lot of question marks here. For the better matchup is Baker Mayfield. Baker has they're playing New Jersey. That's a much softer matchup for him. I think he should eat this week. Chuba is going to have a hard time running the football, but Chuba's been finding the end zone 2 weeks in a row. So Jamar Chase against Minnesota, Jake Browning is going to go for him. He's going to look for him. So evenly matchup. Give my nod here to probably New York City Rico. Team Cruz against Team Broadway. I don't know, man. I mean, if Cruz has the momentum right now. All right, he does have the momentum right now, and that's without Nico playing great. I give the nod to Team Cruz. Oh, actually, let me the first predictions. I put the money on myself. I'm definitely beating Maximus, regardless of my superstitions. Goose and Galamad. Galamad's team has been playing better than Goose. All right, I played him first. I played him, been playing better than Goose. So I played him last week. Rico against Bring It. I said Rico was going to be my boy Bring It. So, and I got Cruz on this one. Frankie Town and South Florida Spanish Ninjas. Can Frankie Town get his first dub of the week? And it's hard. He is projected to win. But it's a difficult one. But you know what? I think Frank might take Bo Nix starting quarterback. Maybe I think Frank might pull this one off. Nah, never mind. Spanish Ninja is going to win this one. Sorry, Frank. Vicious against New Era. Again, we got 2-0 against 1-1. I think Vicious needs to start Herbert. If he starts Herbert, Vicious is going to win this matchup. All right, that's in my opinion. If he starts Herbert, he might win this matchup. Now, don't take my word for it. Even though New Era is favored, depending on what happens, I give the nod to New Era. I think New Era is going to give Vicious his first loss of the year, baby. Woo! Team Cruz, we got to nickname them the Buffet. Team Cruise is called the buffet line. The buffet line, baby. Because everybody's eating. All right, baby. That's all I got for this week. All right. I appreciate everybody that tuned in from for the regular show and also my league mates for the league. So that's all I got, man. That's all I got. This is your boy E-Man from the Average Joe Sports Network signing out from the Midtown Brigade, greatest fantasy league in the world. And of course, I appreciate you all who tuned in for the Unscripted Sportscast. Thank you every week for everybody. You know what I'm saying? There we go, yo. Yeah, DJ Resio say, yo, we winning, bro. We winning. Appreciate you all, guys. Thank you for joining in. Thank you for tuning in. Appreciate you all. Your boy E-Man from the Average Joe Sports Talk Podcast, Post Sportscast Network. Signing out, y'all. Peace.
Yo!